Remember back in March 2011 when I first broke the news about the Fukushima and I gave you my reaction to it? Fukushima, Japan, Dai-ichi nuclear power plants under the operations of TEPCO organization, TEPCO Corporation, put in there with the GE-based technology. Remember that? I don't know if you saw my videos, but I'm doing this as a reminder to everybody that it's still going on, and it will be going on for the rest of your lifetime. It's not going away. In fact, there's a lot of information coming out depending on how you discern the information, the data, the measurements. Quite possibly is getting worse. I'm going to stick with the same things that I said in the first days after the disaster. You can see, I didn't even watch the video, but I know that my mindset is still the same because I knew immediately the major problem. They had to have a plan to contain the situation. They had to entomb it. They haven't done that yet. They're still, everything's open to the air, they're cooling it. They did not underpin it. It's in Meltdown. I don't know if people realize that it's been in meltdown phase, meltdown emergency. In fact, by some accounts, there's 3 separate meltdowns. That means 3 separate reactors. This is a series of reactors. It's not just one reactor. It's a power plant that's very complex. They built it right on the shore. So also what's happening is the radiation is eating through the floor. It's not necessarily because of gravity, but it's because anything that it touches, it's going to melt. So it melts the sides and it melts what's underneath. But what happens is when it melts what's underneath, it liquefies any material, then it goes down, 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 down. So the essence of the China syndrome, and it's funny that's happening right next to China, is that it melts all the way through to the center of the earth toward China. It was basically coined in the United States, which is actually a misnomer, because if you melt down from the United States, you're not going to end up in China. Does anyone know where you go if you pierce right through the earth, straight through the core, and come out on the other side from the United States? Anywhere in the contiguous 48 states? You didn't come out in China. It's actually closer to India. But in any case, they call it China syndrome. Alright? It's actually quite an insult, in fact, to China. But, hey, China has nuclear reactors as well, and I'm sure they've had disasters, not as bad as the one in Japan, though. It just so happens to be in Japan. But what do you know? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, still on my mind is what the heck caused the tsunami. Alright? Don't go there, right? Don't go there. It's not as if it's just to be taken for granted that we know. We don't know. We don't know. Where did that tsunami come from? How was it caused? That's not normal. Okay. Then, who was in charge of the security? Why don't you have a fail-safe in place, a whole system, a plan? And why did all that fall through? And all of a sudden, you're going into the meltdown. You have to have a contingency plan. Look at all the nuclear reactors all around the world now, especially in the United States, especially in France. What a pro-nuclear country. Any French people listen? Je ne sais quoi. Sacre bleu. Merde. Quelle heure to you? What the F is wrong with you Frenchies? Now, I have a lot of French friends. Been to France, done that, been there. But the politics there are obviously screwy since World War II, and they think they're going to show off their power with the nuclear age technology. We're going to bomb French Polynesia. We're going to bomb the Pacific. We're going to do nuclear atomic tests. Just wait till the nuclear reactor closest to Paris goes into meltdown. Do people always procrastinate and only protest after something happens? Is that the level of apathy that we're at right now? It's sad. It's very sad. I'm anti-nuke, and I cannot imagine anybody who's going to come out outwardly and debate me. I dare you. In fact, I have a lot of friends, in fact, going all the way back to the beginning of my history when I was a child. I was confronted with pro-nuke. Not kidding you. I had a friend of mine whose name was Bob. He was a blue-collar worker, and he was building nuclear power plants. And the main one that he was on, that had all the information, all the records, all the documentation, all the memories, all the propaganda to dump into my head as a child. Susquehanna. 3 Mile Island, the one out on Long Island. So I took it all in, analyzed it, and I've continued to come across people that are, believe it or not, for whatever ludicrous, asinine reason, pride or just the fact that they've been brainwashed, are going to tell us that nuclear power is a viable option. No, it's not. No, it's not. It has to end. That's done. No more. Discontinue it. Phase it out. Shut them down and tune them. For how many years it takes, they have to be cooled down. There are technologies, though, and here's the clincher. We can develop technologies that are going to be able to take that radioactive material, the waste, the rods. Okay, rods cannot be just left out in the open. Okay, shut them down. I'm sorry, folks, this is the thing. Like, see if you can get this through to your noggin, because it just boggles my mind. You can't just flick a switch and shut the thing off. It's not a machine that has a switch on it. See the switch there? It can't just be shut down. It's not like that. This is a horrible monstrosity. You can't just shut it down. You can discontinue it, but the thing is going to continue to decay, radioactive decay. It's going to go on and on and on for decades and centuries unless we come up with a technology. Now, I'm actually working on researching a technology right now. But that doesn't mean that we can just rely on it. Oh, we're just going to use this and nuclear power is okay. No, it's not worth the risk because it's a hell of a lot of work. The technology I'm talking about is more expensive than nuclear technology. Nuclear technology right now, through Fukushima, 3 China meltdowns are going to destroy life on the planet as we know it. It's leaking out into the seawater, the Pacific Ocean. Everyone who's eating seafood, anyone who's going into the water, anyone who's breathing the air that's coming out of it, everything is now contaminated, slowly but surely. They're covering it up. But you need to write. If you've heard of somebody, especially on the west coast of North America or in Asia, you need to write here and you need to say what's going on. You need to bring this to the attention of all the viewers. You need to bring this out to the public and start talking about it. Do you have someone who's died? Thyroid cancer, leukemia, people, and especially children, who has come down with strange diseases in the last 2 years. Remember, it happened in March 2011. We are now into the 3rd year. Finished. The 2-year anniversary was this past March. What was it, March the first week of March into the second week. Second anniversary started the third year, and it continues to get worse. I'm just keeping you reminded because this is not going to go away. This is with us to stay for the rest of your life. And it takes some people a while. It takes, did you hear about it yet? By the third year, did you hear about it? Are you concerned yet? Can you hear me now? Thanks, folks. I did these videos all the way back since the first time it happened. It's still on my mind all the time, no matter what else I study, no matter where else I go. You know, guaranteed that I'm thinking about this. And you know who's behind this? The powers that be, the evil, the conspiracy that's out there, the Illuminati, the ones that don't give a damn, they just want to make the money and control everybody. They're the ones behind it. The same people running the war machine. You know who the enemy is. Revolution.